How petty, vindictive, and small is 34-time convicted felon Donald Trump? That is a loaded question, isn't it? I think this week we got quite an idea of how pathetically small and fragile this fat orange felon is with some of his actions directed at members of his past administration. One of the things that we saw was Trump rescinding the Secret Service protection of a number of people that were involved in his administration. Anthony Fauci was one of them, Mike Pompeo was another. And in the case of Mike Pompeo, this is somebody who, once he left the administration, claimed that Trump was a threat to the republic and then went groveling back on his hands and knees to try to get a seat at the table, only to be iced out once Trump was elected. That's an instructive lesson for anybody in media or in the billionaire class to pay attention to. You've seen a trend of media billionaires and millionaires lining up, and you've seen the tech bro crowd lining up to pay their tax to Don Old Corleone, and in the hopes that he will look favorably on them. That is the ultimate sign of weakness, and it is giving him permission to screw you over in the long run. Look what happened to Pompeo. But when you think about how small and vindictive Trump is, this is a perfect illustration of what this guy is about. This is somebody who's got a 40-year track record of being a coward, a fraud, and a weakling. Whenever he is put in a position where he's on equal footing with anybody else, he gets blown away. You saw that happen on the debate stage where Kamala Harris completely pantsed him and embarrassed him and made him look like the complete clown that he is. We've seen it in his last administration where he engineered the worst economy since Herbert Hoover. This is somebody who is completely unequipped to be in any position of power. And here we are dealing with him as, quote unquote, the most powerful man in the world. This is why foreign leaders are laughing at his antics and his claims about trying to take over Canada and Mexico and Greenland, because they know that he's a fraud, a phony, and a fake. What does this all signify? It signifies somebody who is fragile, weak, and a fraud. He's a coward to the nth degree, and you had that exposed when Gavin Newsom met him at the tarmac and told him what the expectation is. This is not an alpha male. This is somebody who isn't even on the alphabet. The only reason he acts the way that he acts is because he knows he's got Russia backing it up. And if it wasn't for his money, he knows that nobody would be around him in the first place. If you want a perfect illustration of what a fragile male ego looks like, what a weakling looks like, what somebody who is inadequate in all sorts of ways looks like, look no further than the felon in chief. The melon felon is a weakling, a fraud, a fake, and a phony.